Kia ora everyone. So my name is Sally Hett, and as Wendy mentioned at the beginning, I was also a previous head of research at the McGuinness Institute. I think it's quite interesting that Maddie and myself kind of saw similar themes or similar points on the kind of civic engagement and how we're bringing our citizens along with this sort of future thinking. But so since my time at the McGuinness Institute, I was an advisor on the mental health and addiction inquiry last year, and that was one of the most heartbreaking experiences to go on. I travelled around the country with the panel, and it's fair to say I heard that the public sector is failing large groups of our society across New Zealand, and they're just not feeling included. They're feeling done to and not done with, and decisions that are made, say in Wellington, about what they think the problems and the solution could be for Kaitaia get implemented through Auckland, through Whangarei, up to Kaitaia, and it's just not what they want. It's not addressing the real problems that they face. So from that, it kind of gave me a real drive to try and help shake up the public sector any way that I can. And then I now work at the Creative HQ in their public sector innovation team. So what we're looking to do, and when we mean innovation, it's not the same kind of private sector, making more money. We mean innovation in the public sector is about building trust and transparency and like a citizen-centric public sector. And so I run a government program that sort of takes projects from across different government agencies and it kind of applies innovation science, which kind of focuses on root cause problem discovery. So are we actually addressing the right problem from the get-go? Have we asked what the real problem is for who we're trying to serve? And then from there, it's a co-design with the people who are affected by this decision, and then that's tested and iterated on and validated before we spend a lot of money, At the moment, it's big business cases that might work, get run out, and realize that it wasn't delivering the right outcome. Not always, but sometimes. And so through that work and through what I've heard today, a key point for me was around trust. That's, so not all these citizens, I know New Zealand internationally does all right, but we can do better, and not all citizens trust our government, and that's such an important part for this conversation to go both ways and for them to really buy into what a new institute or something could come up with. Similarly with that, it was around policy getting kind of implemented, because we sort of look at evidence-based policy, but in some ways it's we implement policy and then we've got to spend our time looking around and trying to see if it actually worked. So it's policy-based evidence, and I think we really need to switch that around. The next sort of theme I was going to speak to was around risk and whether, or the importance of separating out political risk from technical risk. And I guess currently with the 3-year political cycle, and I guess this sort of State Sector Act reforms where we've got a sort of public service that are completely ministerial facing and do what the ministers want, you're not really going to get, there's no space for that long-term thinking because they are focused on those 3 years. And you ask them point blank, that is their goal, is to get re-elected. So if we don't change that and allow our sort of public sector agencies to sort of serve the citizens, be with the citizens, to do that long-term thinking, I don't think we're going to get there. The next one I was going to touch on was around wealth and this inequality in New Zealand. And it's only growing, and I saw it around the country. And something that I know from working with Wendy and talking to Gurol Karagulu, who's now at the School of Government, he always says that New Zealand sort of follows the world in a 5 to 10 year lag. And if we're seeing these like inequality trends we currently have, and then we look to America and Britain, and we've got to do something different. We've got to really mix it up, or else we're heading down a dangerous path. And I guess, something that I just wanted to end on was around, I think, what Peter said about, young people are getting out to the streets and doing these petitions. We sort of shouldn't have to be out on the streets. We've got the zero carbon bill. They're trying to speak the language and write legislation. We're working to change the way policy is made. And so we're getting there, but we need everyone to come along. So, kia ora.